Okay, continuing on here with measures of center. Mean, to recap, is the total number divided by the total number of values. And this is the sum over n. And is the balancing point. It is the balancing point where you find the place of equal balance on both sides. Median is the middle number, and mode is the most frequent. Let's try another example here. So consider the four numbers A, B, C, and D, and they are A is the smallest and D is the largest, but they could be equal to each other. And I know they are integers. And I'm told the mean of four numbers is 4. Well, that means if I add up the four numbers and divide it by 4, it's going to be 4. Another way to think about it is if I add up all these numbers, the total of them added is going to be 16, the 4 times that. And so I'm going to think about the numbers adding to 16. The mode is 3. That means there must be 2 3s, or 3 3s, or 4 3s. I have to have multiple 3s. The median is 3. So if I have 3 numbers, or 4 numbers rather, these two both have to be 3 so that I can have the average of those two, which is the middle, is 3. So I know I have 2 3s for sure, maybe 3 3s. And the range is 6. That means from the minimum to the maximum is 6. So I could have 1 to 7 because the range here is 6. Or I could have 2 and 8. Or I could have 3 and 9. Or 4 and 10 because all these differences are 6. I know the median has to be 3, so I'm up. This total here is 6. So these two values here have to add up to 10. Of these combinations, this is the one that adds up to 10. So I'm going to say that A is 2, B is 3, C is 3, and D is 8. When I add them up, I have 10 plus, I get a total of 16, which is good for the mean. The mode is 3, happens twice. The median is 3, it happens in here in the middle. The range is 6. And so these are my values. There's no real calculations. It's just thinking about what these words mean and then finding the ones that fit it. Let's try another example here. Here we have family size revisited. In 1997, the U.S. Census Bureau collected samples of families and their sizes. And so number of children, number of families. Before we start to do this question, we have to make sense of what this table means. It says I have 0 children in 15 families, 1 children in 22 families. So that means I have, if I'm counting children in the family, I have 15 of these zeros. There's 15 of those. And then I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I have 22 of these 1s, and 2, 2, 2, 2. I have 25 of these 2s, and so on. So that's what this table means. I have a whole bunch of numbers representing number of children. So 0 children in this family, 0 children in this family, 0 children in this family, and so on. So if I look at here, the mode is going to be the one that has the most numbers. Well, I'm going to have 15 zeros, 22 ones, and 25 twos. And so the mode is where the 25 hits, so 2 is the mode. This is the mode. B part, determine the number of families in this sample. So how many families did they sample? To do that, there's 15 zeros, 22 ones, so these are families. I'm going to add 15 plus 22 plus 25. I'm going to add up all these values here and get a total. When I do that, I end up with 100. So n is equal to 100 when I add them up. Okay, let's clean it up a little bit. Now, determine the total number of children in this sample. Well, if this is my sample, the part of it, I got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I have 15 zeros. That adds up to 0. plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. I'm going to add up all these ones. There's 22 of them, so that means there's 22. There's 0 children here. I have 2 children, plus 2 more is 4, plus 2 more is 6. I have 25 of these. So 25 twos is 50. So there's 50 children counted for here. So if I think about 0, 22, and 50, I'm looking to, if I refer to here, if I multiply these two, I get the total number of children that it's referring to. So this was 0. 1 times 22 is 22. 2 times 25 is 50. 3 times 18 is 54. 4 times 10 is 40. And 10 and 24 and 14 and 16. So because there are 2 families with 8 children, there's 16 children in total. Multiplying these 2 columns gives me the number of children. And I want to add them all up to get the total number of children. And when I add them, I end up with 230 children. So when I want to find the mean number of children, x bar, I take the total number of children, 230, and I divide it by the number of families, which is 100, which is then 2.3 children. So describe what the mean means in context. Well, what the mean means in context is in a random sample of 100 families, on average, there were 2.3 children in a family. Okay, that's what it means in context. From this sample, we can say on average there were 2.3 children in a family. So yes, we have to be able to compute the values, but we also have to know what it means and be able to describe it in context. There is your introduction to mean, median, and mode.